Welcome back to another video. I'm Maximilian and I help people empower their lives. Now in today's video I'm going to be explaining stress, how you can stop stressing, how you can stop worrying so much, especially about the small things but also about the big things. And I'm going to give you some very easy, simple tips to follow that you can start doing right today, right now, right here, right now, in order to change your life and help you in the future, help you out so much in the future. So, it all starts with perspective. The biggest thing is perspective, and it's perspective every single day. Perspective of where you are in life right now, in comparison to a lot of other people. And I hear a lot of other people say, well yeah, but I'm not the wealthiest. But when you look at it from perspective, you really do look at it. You are much wealthier than billions of people. Not just a few people, billions of people. There are people who literally have nothing, like absolutely nothing, yet they're the happiest people. Why? Because they're not focused on what they haven't got, they're focused on what they do have. They're focused that they are able to get that 1, 2, maybe 3 meals a day. Some people don't even eat 3 meals a day. And they're focused on that. They're not focused on, I'm not able to have 4 meals a day, or I'm not able to have a Lamborghini, I'm not able to have a massive house, I'm not able to have this, I'm not able to have that. They're focused and they're grateful for the little things. They're grateful for everything. They're grateful to be alive. Now when you can be grateful to be alive and you can truly put it in perspective, now there's so many different things that you can put in perspective. For example, let's say you get a puncture. And this happened to me not too long ago. I could have been really, and I literally just got a new tyre. I could have been really annoyed and kept, oh, why does this always happen to me? But realistically, does this always happen? If it does, then there's subconscious programming techniques that you need to get into your mind, because you're constantly attracting from your subconscious mind. So whatever you're attracting, that's what you're subconsciously thinking. Anyway, back to it. So when you understand and perspective of, right, I've got a puncture, okay, what do I need to do? I need to get it fixed. First and foremost, I need to get it fixed. If I keep winding myself up, it's going to get harder and harder and harder and harder. Then I'm going to get annoyed, then I'm going to get worried, then I'm going to keep fluffing about. Even if you have to go to work that morning, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? If you call up and you say, look, I've got a puncture, I need to get it fixed, otherwise I can't drive, I physically can't drive there, what are they going to say? They're not going to fire you because you're not turning up for half an hour. They're not going to fire you if you're not turning up for half an hour or something like that. They will understand it. Is it really the worst case scenario that could happen? Is this really the worst thing that could be happening in your life? You could have had a car crash. And this, when I say perspective, I mean understand it from this level. You could have had a car crash. That puncture in your tyre could have deferred you a different way, which prevented you from it. Now, this could be seen as, but that could have that might not have happened anyway. Yeah, but it might have happened. So anyone can say that, yeah, but it might not have happened. But then I can always just say, but it might have happened. There's both arguments. Neither's right, neither's wrong. It's perspective. It's how you see it. You can see anything in that way. You could say, I fell out of a tree and I broke my arm. It could be worse, I could have broke my arm and my leg. Perspective. You're still able to walk. You've still got the use of your legs. It might just take 6 weeks or so to get it back into play. So, this is my first little tactic that I call the could be worse game. And I'll go on a little backstory about this. So, me and my sister, we were painting some offices, painting them, made them look beautiful, absolutely beautiful if I do say so myself. And we were painting the offices, and I believe it took 9 days. We did it in 9 days, like 9 days solid. Like some of the days we were there from like 8 in the morning till 11 at night because we just wanted to get it finished. And the last day, 5 in the afternoon, just finished everything. Right, I'm putting the blinds up, putting them up nice, fixing it back the way it was, making it look nice, hoovered up everything, not a speck of paint on the floor whatsoever. So we were very proud of ourselves. The last little thing, I went to put up the last blind and I heard a massive thud on the floor, and I was standing there facing the window, and imagine my sister behind me, and I'm just like, what was that? And she was like, don't turn around. So I turned around and a 10 litre tub of white paint, yeah? What carpets do most people have? normally cream. No, they would have had to have black carpets, wouldn't they? Black carpets with gold in them, so there was no getting around it. White paint all over the carpet, all over it. So, after we had a little laugh about it, after we thought, what are we gonna do? Our first initial reaction was, right, we've got a yogurt, or I can't remember what, a spoon for some reason, whatever we had. We're vegans, we don't eat yogurt. Or unless, I can't remember what it was. But, our first thought was, right, let's get the spoon and spoon it back into the tub. 10 litres by a little spoon. And it was a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. So imagine that. So first thing we thought was, right, how can we clean this up? After we had a bit of a... and then we thought, look, I said, at the end of the day, it's happened. We can laugh about it or we can get angry at each other, which is just going to make the situation worse. So we laughed about it. We just looked at it and thought, right, so what's the worst case scenario that could happen? Okay, so the worst case is we could potentially just, all the money that we made, we might have to buy a new carpet. I was like, right, let's not think that far. Right, let's erase that from our minds. Let's go back to the start. What can we do to get this up? Right, so we figured out a way. First of all, we looked at it. We could have cried. We were probably in that mindset. We could have cried. But we looked at it. We said, what can we do in order to change this? So we figured it out. We found all this stuff and we kept playing the could be worse game. Right, so it was a Friday. It was a Friday evening. So the could be worse was, look, it could have been during the day while everyone was still here. They would have heard a massive thud. They could have walked in and seen all that. That's one. The next one was, it's the weekend, so worst case scenario, we can come in over the weekend and still clean it if we haven't cleaned it by the end of the night, which took 5 hours to do. So we were just constantly saying, what could be worse? It could have been oil-based paint. Luckily, it was water-based paint. We could have focused on, oh my God, we just spilled the paint everywhere. Oh, this is the worst day of my life. Oh, whoa. And we could have focused on that, but instead we started focusing on the good things in it. They weren't great, no, not at all, but there was a way that we could get it out. So, 5 hours later, we got it all out. We could have moaned, we could have argued the whole time, then got it out and been like, oh, there was nothing to really argue about, was there? The next day, went in, nothing was there. It looked brand new carpet, it looked cleaner because there was we hoovered up so much. Oh, we ruined the hoover. But I said I'd rather pay 55 quid for a new hoover or whatever it was than a couple of grand for a new carpet. So there's always the could be worse game. And that was probably, and probably still is, one of my absolute favourite games that I always play. So the next perspective you can see it from is hurt people hurt people. No one who is truly hurting would intentionally hurt you. So think about, and just, if there's someone cuts you off in traffic, what is beeping, swearing, shouting at them going to do realistically? It might say, oh, I taught him a lesson, I taught her a lesson. You're never going to see them again. You're going to be wound up for the rest of the day. They probably didn't even hear you. They probably drove off, listening to their music, singing along, happy as can be. And I've probably done it to people unintentionally, but I've probably done it where I just haven't said thank you or something like that. But people do take it to heart, and I don't understand why, because who cares? Yeah, I understand manners. Everyone should have manners. Perfect, normal. Everyone should have manners. But some people don't. Some people forget. I forget sometimes. That doesn't mean I'm not a nice person. I don't have manners. It just means sometimes I forget. So when things like that happen, even if I get cut off on a roundabout, for you Americans, if you don't know what a roundabout is, search it up. But even if I get cut off on a roundabout, I just stop. What's the point in beeping? What's the point in swearing? Like, it's not going to achieve anything. You are not going to feel better about yourself once you do that. If anything, you're going to feel worse, because you're going to get yourself wound up. And the funniest story I ever saw, I was driving to work one day on a motorway roundabout, so a huge one, and there was traffic lights on it. A guy gets out of his van and he literally runs up to this guy. So the busiest road, it's like rush hour, there was so many cars, just gets out, starts banging on the window, like shouting and screaming. I was like, oh my God, he is gonna have the worst day ever. Why? Because he was winding himself up. There wasn't any need for him to do that at all. Just not at all. So I don't see why anyone would do that. And if today goes badly, like my day's gone badly, my laptop, my keyboard just stopped working, just completely stopped working, like a few letters, it was like 5 different letters. So I was like, like I can't type anything and I couldn't log in, so I used the on-screen keyboard, logged in, and I realised that none of my things were typing. I was like, I literally just used it like 2 minutes ago. And then I went to go and make this video with the script. It was meant to be a spoken word one. I had the script, ready to do it, looking for the script, completely deleted. Like, we all have days like that. We all have days where you walk one step forward, you go like 17 steps back, and you're just like, oh. But tomorrow's a new day. Is it the end of the world? No. Now, I watched an interview of someone and they were saying how when they were at level, they lost loads of them. I believe it was a company. They lost a company, that was it. They lost a company, and the guy said, he was like, I'm broke. He was like, the other guy interviewing him said, so you're broke, what are you gonna do? And he said, oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm abundant. I'm an abundant person. And his mindset was still in an abundance mindset. Just because his external or what happened, he could have focused on, I've just lost all of my company. Now what am I going to do? Now what? But his mindset was, I'm still an abundant person. I will figure it out. And people, you do figure out. You always figure it out. So don't allow external problems in your life to affect you internally. So the first one is just perspective, understanding, and I suppose hurt people comes under perspective, and just understanding that someone could be driving to drop off their child who's just been knocked out by a car or knocked over by a car. Do you really think on their top of mind they're gonna be like, oh, thank you, thank you? It's really like, just understand from that level. The next one is the could be worse game. So playing the could be worse game, just understanding everything is. There's always a worse situation. You could be dead, you're alive, you're breathing, you're talking, you're seeing, you're hearing. Please see that perspective. And there's another one that I want to add in actually, and it's all about understanding that your energy in motion is your emotion. So your energy in motion is your emotion. So how you stand, if you're standing there getting all wound up and you're tensing up and you're clenching your fists and you're ready to punch someone, how do you think you're gonna feel? Whereas if you stand there, you're smiling, you just got your shoulders rolled back, your emotion is carried by your motion. Energy in motion. Your energy, how you are feeling, how you are being, carries your emotion. Your physiology is how you change your energy. Okay? Sometimes it just takes a deep breath. It really, really does. Just a deep breath. Maybe a couple, not just one. In through the nose, through the diaphragm. Just taking one deep breath really just calms it. I understand when you're in that situation, you can be like, well, yeah, but I'm not going to breathe, I'm not going to breathe. Really, trust me, do that for 1 to 2 to 3 minutes. I'd say 3 minutes. If you can do it for 3 minutes, perfect. And you will see your levels start to slowly rise down, fall down. And just lowering the energy, getting you back to center. And the biggest key, the biggest key is meditation. Now, I will explain meditation in another video. I hope you've liked this video. If you like this video, like it. If you've got any comments about it, please comment. If there's things that you're struggling with, again, ask me. Just ask me. I'm happy to help. But have an amazing day. Keep smiling and spreading positive energy.